Major Lisa Rodriguez could tell something was wrong with the hostages the moment her team entered the room. Their positioning was too military, their fears seemed rehearsed, and when she spotted the concealed weapons hidden beneath their civilian clothes, Lady Liberty Protocol activated. The victims they'd been sent to rescue were actually enemy combatants waiting to spring an ambush. Alpha Team had been operational for 18 months, the first and only all-female special operations unit in U.S. military history. The team had been formed as part of a classified program to develop specialized capabilities for missions requiring operators who could blend into civilian populations or access areas where male soldiers would attract unwanted attention. Major Lisa Rodriguez commanded the six-woman unit, each member selected from elite military backgrounds and trained to the highest standards of special operations warfare. The mission briefing had been straightforward. Rescue 4 American contractors taken hostage by a terrorist cell operating from a compound in eastern Syria. Intelligence reports indicated the hostages were being held in a fortified building approximately 30 kilometers from the Turkish border, guarded by an estimated 12 to 15 enemy combatants with small arms and basic defensive positions. The operation was designated as a direct action mission. Fast insertion, locate and secure the hostages, eliminate hostile resistance, and extract all personnel to a secure landing zone within a 2-hour window. Alpha Team had conducted similar operations throughout the Middle East, developing a reputation for precision, speed, and zero friendly casualties during their operational history. Lisa's team consisted of highly trained specialists. Captain Sarah Chun as weapons sergeant and sniper, Lieutenant Maria Santos as communications and intelligence specialist, Staff Sergeant Jennifer Kim as explosives and demolitions expert, Sergeant First Class Amanda Torres as medic and chemical specialist, and Corporal Rachel Park as the team's youngest member but already proven in urban warfare and close quarters combat. The insertion had proceeded flawlessly. Under cover of darkness, the team had been delivered by stealth helicopter to a landing zone 5 kilometers from the target compound, then moved overland using night vision equipment and GPS navigation to approach their objective without detection. Syrian airspace was contested territory, making helicopter operations dangerous, but Alpha Team's mission priority had justified the risk. The compound appeared exactly as described in intelligence reports, a 2-story concrete building surrounded by high walls, with guard towers at each corner and a single vehicle entry point secured by heavy metal gates. Thermal imaging revealed heat signatures consistent with the expected number of guards and hostages, and electronic surveillance detected no advanced security systems that would complicate the rescue operation. Alpha 1, this is Alpha 6, Lisa transmitted to her team using throat microphones that allowed silent communication. Preliminary reconnaissance confirms target layout matches intelligence briefing. Hostiles appear to be maintaining routine security patterns. No obvious complications. The team moved into position using tactics developed specifically for their unique capability. Captain Chun established overwatch position with her sniper rifle, providing covering fire and intelligence on guard movements. Lieutenant Santos deployed electronic surveillance equipment to monitor enemy communications and detect any changes in their security posture. The remaining team members prepared for building entry using breaching charges and close-quarters combat techniques. Alpha Team, execute breach in 30 seconds, Lisa commanded as her soldiers moved into final assault positions. The explosive breach proceeded perfectly, creating multiple entry points that allowed the team to flow into the building using coordinated movement techniques. Resistance was lighter than expected, suggesting the guards had been caught off guard by the speed and precision of the assault. Within minutes, Alpha Team had secured the ground floor and was moving toward the room where intelligence indicated the hostages were being held. Lisa approached the hostage room, with Corporal Park providing security while the rest of the team cleared adjacent areas. The door was secured with a simple lock rather than the heavy barricades they had expected, another indication that the operation was proceeding more smoothly than planned. When Lisa opened the door and stepped into the room, her first glimpse of the hostages triggered warning signals that her special operations training had developed through years of high-risk missions. The four individuals seated against the far wall were positioned with military precision. Equal spacing, identical posture, heads at exactly the same angle. This wasn't the random arrangement of terrified civilians. It was the deliberate positioning of trained personnel. The second warning sign was their emotional state. Genuine hostages typically displayed extreme stress, fear, or relief when rescue forces arrived. These individuals showed controlled reactions that suggested they were following a script rather than experiencing genuine emotions. Their eyes moved with tactical awareness, scanning for threats and opportunities rather than focusing on their rescuers with the desperate hope that characterized real victims. But the detail that confirmed Lisa's suspicions was subtle and would have been missed by less experienced operators. Beneath their civilian clothing, she could detect the outlines of tactical equipment, body armor, communications gear, and most critically, concealed weapons positioned for rapid deployment. The hostages weren't victims. They were enemy combatants prepared to launch a close-range ambush against their supposed rescuers. Alpha Team, Lisa transmitted urgently through her throat microphone. Lady Liberty Protocol is active. Repeat, Lady Liberty Protocol is active. Hostages are hostile. This is a trap. Lady Liberty Protocol was the emergency code developed specifically for Alpha Team situations where their unique mission parameters created special vulnerabilities. As an all-female unit operating in hostile territory, they faced threats that traditional special operations forces didn't encounter, including enemies who specifically targeted them for propaganda purposes or who attempted to exploit cultural assumptions about women in combat roles. The response from her team was immediate and professional. Copy Lady Liberty. Taking defensive positions, came Captain Chen's voice. The fake hostages reacted to Lisa's transmission by abandoning their deception and reaching for their concealed weapons. But Lisa's early recognition of the trap had given Alpha Team the critical seconds of warning they needed to gain tactical advantage over their adversaries. Lisa engaged the closest fake hostage as he attempted to draw a concealed pistol, using close-quarters combat techniques to neutralize the threat before he could bring his weapon to bear. Corporal Park simultaneously engaged another enemy combatant, demonstrating the precise marksmanship and tactical movement that had earned her selection for Alpha Team. The firefight that followed tested every skill the team had developed during their specialized training. Fighting in confined spaces against enemies who had prepared the battlefield to their advantage required tactical flexibility and aggressive action to prevent the ambush from achieving its intended effect. Alpha 6, we have additional hostiles moving on your position from the corridor, Captain Chun reported from her overwatch position. Recommend immediate extraction to avoid being surrounded. The trap had been more complex than just fake hostages. Enemy forces had been positioned throughout the building to converge on Alpha Team once they entered the hostage room, creating a kill zone designed to eliminate America's only all-female special operations unit for maximum propaganda impact. Lisa made the tactical decision that would either save her team or result in their destruction. Alpha Team, fighting withdrawal to extraction point. Corporal Park, throw smoke to cover movement. Santos, call for immediate helicopter extraction. Chun, provide suppressive fire on all approaches. The team executed their withdrawal with the precision that had made them legendary among special operations forces. Each member knew her role and executed it flawlessly under the extreme pressure of combat against an enemy who had prepared the battlefield specifically to defeat them. Staff Sergeant Kim used her explosives expertise to create diversionary blasts that confused enemy forces and provided cover for the team's movement. Lieutenant Santos maintained communication with extraction assets while coordinating the team's movement through hostile territory. The coordinated actions of 6 highly trained women prevented what could have been a devastating defeat. When the extraction helicopter arrived at the designated landing zone, Alpha Team had successfully withdrawn from the ambush with all personnel accounted for and valuable intelligence about enemy tactics specifically designed to target female special operations forces. Command, this is Alpha 6, Lisa reported as the helicopter climbed away from Syrian airspace. Lady Liberty Protocol executed successfully. Mission parameters were compromised from initial planning. Enemy had detailed knowledge of our capabilities and developed specific countertactics. The intelligence gathered during the failed rescue operation proved invaluable for future missions. The enemy had invested significant resources in studying Alpha Team's tactics and developing countermeasures specifically designed to exploit perceived vulnerabilities in an all-female unit. But their trap had failed because Lisa's experience and tactical awareness had recognized the deception before it could be sprung. Major Lisa Rodriguez had led her team into what was designed to be their final mission. Instead, she had recognized an elaborate deception, executed emergency protocols under fire, and extracted her entire team with intelligence that would protect future operations. The fake hostages who were supposed to be their victims had become evidence of enemy tactical sophistication and the critical importance of maintaining operational security for specialized units. Lady Liberty Protocol had been successfully executed, proving that America's first all-female special operations team could not only meet the same standards as their male counterparts, but could also overcome threats specifically designed to exploit their unique mission parameters. In the dangerous world of special operations, Alpha Team had proven that excellence in warfare had no gender. Only skill, courage, and the tactical awareness to recognize that sometimes the greatest victories came from knowing when to fight and when to withdraw. The mission had failed to rescue hostages who never existed, but it had succeeded in proving that Alpha Team was ready for any challenge their enemies could devise.